For those who wanted me to paint on printer paper, this video is for you. In all of my videos, I usually recommended working on textured surface. There are so many reasons why you should avoid smooth surface for oil pastel. I do agree with all the technical reasons behind them, but if you only have printer paper at hand and if you are like me, working with student grade oil pastel just for the joy of creating, it's perfectly fine to use them. You can follow any tutorial, but change these two things in your painting process to get a decent result out of a printer paper. The very first thing that you should understand is that a very small amount of oil pastel can cover a significant amount of smooth surface without any fallouts. By using a very light pressure, you can keep the layers thin and leave space for additional colors to be layered on top of each other. Printer papers usually take around 4 such thin layers before it starts to break down or create dust, what we call fallout. Throughout this painting, I blended using pastel on pastel technique for a clean finish. I used Q-tip to gently smear the product down if I'm working on any gradient. I linked my reference in the description below. It is such a beautiful illustration. I believe it is digital artwork. It just feels so warm and comforting. I love how the tiny cabins are tucked in within those tall trees, the road that pulls you right into the scene, and the wildflowers in front. That's just my favorite part of this painting. I like to divide my paintings into sections and pick out the colors I will be layering to get close as possible to the reference. I usually test the combination on a piece of paper before I start to paint. For this painting, I begin with the cabins first, then I moved on to the trees and the field in the middle ground. After that, I worked on the gradient sky in the background, and finally I finished with the road, the wildflower and the fence in the foreground. This video is going to be pretty long, so I will pause my narration here. I will jump in towards the end to give few pointers and share my thoughts. I know you're not supposed to use acrylic over oil pastel, but I already broke a lot of rules. It gave me the fine details I wanted and I'm glad I went with it. I'm quite happy with how it turned out. Of course, there are so many changes that I did along the way. I changed the shapes of the tree and I did added more wildflowers, and my cabins do look a little bigger than the reference. You know what, at this point I'm just overthinking, but for the printer paper this really isn't bad at all. I hope this video helped you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye.